This Amsterdam waterfront building houses the Maritime Museum. The building was originally called the National Maritime Magazine. It was built in 1658 for the Amsterdam Admiralty. The Admiralty, like all the other admiralties in the Netherlands, was responsible for defending the Republic's territory and the merchant navy. The Maritime Magazine was the stockroom of the navy. Cables and sails, sabres and muskets, compasses and hourglasses, everything was kept in stock here. In the inner courtyard still stands a small cannon from the days of the Dutch East India Company. Part of the museum is dedicated to this company, the largest business enterprise of the 16th and 17th centuries. But the museum primarily contains a unique collection of paintings, model ships and other objects illustrating the valiant past of that small country by the North Sea that didn't hesitate to measure itself against the great seafaring nations, even if that often led to fierce and bloody sea battles. In those days, painters, in a certain sense, fulfilled the function photo reporters have now, though painters had a lot more freedom and time to elaborate on the scene according to their own imagination. The ship of Admiral Michiel Adriaanzoon de Ruyter at open sea, portrayed by Karel Dujardin, a contemporary of Rembrandt van Rijn. The original model of de Ruyter's ship. It preceded the actual ship because it served as a model during its construction. Two of the most famous naval heroes, Witte Corneliszoon de Witt and Michiel de Ruyter. The successful voyage to Chatham in 1667 during the Second English War. Pleasure boating was already on the rise in the 17th century, a day out on the water or by towing barge to exclusive country resorts on the Amstel or Vecht River. A large collection of inland waterway model ships. Bargemen had regular services between two or more places for passengers and goods. For the aficionado, these models and paintings are definitely a feast for the eye. A survey of the weaponry used at the time. Cumbersome heavy artillery. In most cases, it required a lot of strength to aim well and then shoot on target. The museum also delves into the past with a collection of old navigation devices. With a sextant and starry sky, it was possible to stay on course, the predecessors of radar and satellite. Maps and sea charts were partly drawn up by exchanging data from ships' journals. The Maritime Museum offers an excellent overview of models, documents and objects related to the Dutch East India Company, the VOC for short, during the 16th and 17th centuries, the largest shipping company and commercial enterprise in the world. The models show that these merchant vessels were very well armed. A scene in the port of Amsterdam. The Russian Tsar Peter visiting Zaandam and Amsterdam in the cutter down to the right, which is taking him to the ship that is ready to depart. Crew members of higher rank, vain as they were, had porcelain figures made of themselves in the Far East. And they had an image of their own ship painted on this lovely shell, nothing more than a nice souvenir. Cornelis Speelman, an important VOC official who became Governor-General in India. A series of old coins, real currency carrying the VOC logo. A gold medal sometimes was the reward when officers retired after many tough voyages to the Far East. This elegant Chinese porcelain shows images of VOC settlements in distant countries. Museum ship the Amsterdam, a replica of the old VOC ship reconstructed to the smallest detail. Voyages to the tropics taxed the crew to the max. There could be 200 to 300 men on board, living among crates and cannons, packed close together in the tropical heat. It was asking for trouble. Diseases like scurvy were the order of the day, usually fatal. On the other hand, crew members had standing contracts, providing them long-term security. Voyages often lasted a year and a half or more. A visit to the Maritime Museum will be a dream voyage to the past from which you wake up richer and wiser.